Earlier tonight, hundreds of people gathered at Memorial Park in Jacksonville. It's a rally against the Russian invasion of Ukraine. 1 year ago today, Russian military tanks and trucks drove across the border and began a war that has displaced and killed millions.
All of us should care. And this won't end in 2 weeks. This won't end in 3 weeks. This is going to take a while.
Tonight's rally was called The Year Russia Invaded Ukraine. And while people rallied against the invasion, they also honored Ukrainians who have died during this war. News 4 Jax reporter Eric Gavinier was at that event, joining us now live with more on what he saw and heard.
Well, Kent, Americans, Ukrainian refugees, and at least one Russian who disagrees with her home country's government, they all showed up here at that event here inside the Memorial Park in solidarity and to support Ukraine. As Ukrainian soldiers continue to fight off the invading Russian military in a war that began 1 year ago, folks here in Jacksonville gathered for a rally in Memorial Park to mark the 1-year anniversary of the fighting.
365 days ago, Vladimir Putin decided he needed to do something. He told the world he's just training people. We know what that was, right? It was a lie.
A lie that was captured on television when Russian military vehicles crossed into Ukraine to begin an invasion that turned into a war that left cities and towns destroyed, a war that led to more than 8 million Ukrainians being displaced, more than 13,000 injured, and more than 8,000 killed. Some of the people attending this rally in Jacksonville knew people back home who lost their lives.
Some of them were killed on the like a soldier. Some of them died like civilians and people.
We have some friends who already died and were killed on the front, but this is life. They're protecting our lives, but we're very thankful to them because all those people who are in Ukraine right now, they are really in danger.
Staslav was also in attendance at the rally. He was a brief member of the Ukrainian military until he was injured during a Russian missile and shelling attack. These are photos he shared with us of him serving his country. Before the war, I was not in the military. I was a civilian. But when the Russian occupation happened, I joined the military because I wanted to protect my family, my kids, and my country. Also among the crowd were people with no ties to Ukraine.
Even though I had no prior links to the country, I think like many or most people, it felt like an assault on the freedoms that I had. You know, I come from a country that's free. I live in a country that's free.
And then we also met Irina, who was originally from northern Russia, but moved to Jacksonville 15 years ago. The invasion by her home country has left her upset at the Russian government.
I'm ashamed of the government of Russia doing this awful act of aggression towards its neighboring country. There are so many Russians that have Ukrainian friends, Ukrainian relatives. You know, a big percentage of Russians are related to Ukrainians. And for us, this war was a complete shock.
So as soldiers in Ukraine fight for their country's freedom, there are people here in Jacksonville who are supporting their efforts. Now, that Russian woman I spoke with says that unfortunately there are many people back home who only support Russia's invasion because they believe the lies they're being told in the news, those lies that are coming from members of the Russian government. In fact, President Putin told his people on the news that the Ukrainians that they're fighting are all Nazis. Reporting live, Eric Gavinier, Channel 4, the local station.